So dive into, so you've been licensed for 5 years now. Dive into kind of like in the beginning, I know you focused on, you're doing flight attendant, you're focusing on, working that part of your sphere, you're working on your own sphere. Did you have any initial struggles or, did you really come out of the gates, kind of getting some momentum going in your business to kind of get it where it is today?
So, at first like I said, I really worked my connections when I first got my license. My first year, I sold 8 houses, which is more than most agents would sell their first year.
Yeah.
So they're really going into that. So I feel really what happened with me is after I sold the 8 houses, then I went back to square one. It's like, oh, I have to now do all this lead generation, start follow up processes, going really above and beyond and put myself out there to generate new business. So my second year in real estate, I did join a team. So I was on a team for 2 years, roughly 2 years.
Okay.
Really what made me transition from flight attendant, well, being on a team because I wanted to keep my flight attendant job. I had a team now to support me, but
Right.
my team did a lot of like a lot of lead generation. So it was like more like the Zillow.
Yep.
You had your just a lot of different branches of leads coming in. So there's a lot of business opportunity there.
Yep.
And then that's when really the like people started noticing I'm doing really good at real estate, so that's where referrals start coming in. But really, what made me transition and just wanting to do better was I feel like I was a flight attendant, and then COVID hit. So then they let me go for 6 months, and I didn't want to move to New York City because after the 6 month period, they wanted me to be based in New York. It just wasn't going to happen. So I had to make a decision to quit. So I think that 2020 was a stepping stone for me because in 2021, I finished 2020 on my previous team, but 2021, I decided to join my own team
Yeah.
or start my own team because it wasn't anything that, based on my last team, but it was the fact that my numbers and my production were way higher than what, I felt like I came to a point where I was growing out of my team.
Sure. Sure.
So, but that's when I started my team last year, and we're over a year in now, and we're doing really good. So,
No, that's awesome. Now, when you went to your first year to joining a team, were you looking specifically for a situation that provided the leads? Because some agents, I talk to that get into the business, they're like, hey, I just want to build it through my sphere of influence. Me, like the only thing I know from day one is internet leads,
mm,
right? Like when I got started in 2011, end of 2011, early 2012 is when we really started doing internet leads. So that's the only thing I know. So
yeah,
I guess, did you know that was kind of what your business was missing at the time, and you kind of looked for that opportunity, or did it kind of just fall into your lap?
it's it fell more into my lap because when you first become an agent, and I feel like this is just what they teach you is you work your sphere of influence. Do not rely on internet leads. Don't rely. You can market yourself, but don't put of course a lot of money into marketing. You're a brand new agent. So I
Right.
found that income come in and then start marketing yourself and doing a different approach. So after my first year, I felt like I was in a situation to where, I was also flying, so I couldn't always be here, but I also wanted that support. And that was one thing that was lacking. My first year, I pretty much had to learn everything based on me learning.
Yeah.
There was a lot of support there. So when I got the opportunity to join a team, I felt in my situation, it was going to work and benefit just growing a lot because I wanted to grow as an agent. I also, I heard like I knew of Zillow and I knew of like, being a Redfin agent. I knew of all this, but
Right.
I just didn't want to put that much money out there to be able to get the amount of leads that I was getting.
Yeah.
So when I joined my team, I felt like a lot of things. It was an easy way to build business fast
Yeah.
with the internet leads. So when I joined the team, did a lot of Zillow. So, I mean, probably within my first 2 months on Zillow, I closed 12 transactions
Yeah.
just based on Zillow calls.
Yeah.
And then that's when, what's great about those is, we may sell them into a house and then couple years down the line is when they will want to buy or get something bigger. But I
Yeah.
started building my my client portfolio up, and
Yep.
so it was good. It was a good transition. I went from I think my second year I sold. Oh, it was maybe like 30,
Okay.
a little over 30, and then
Yeah.
no, and then last year I sold 44 houses, and then no, last year I don't know. I just
Yeah, you said something that I talk to agents about all the time with leads. Some people just absolutely hate them, and I get it. Look, I'm here to tell, and part of this conversation and why I like to bring on, real estate agents that are top performing people is because there's so many different ways to build your business. There's not one way that is the end all be all. I don't believe that to be true. But what I do believe is like if you dive into internet leads correctly and you do it correctly, you can build your business faster. And it's not just that one deal. Like you said, you built your client database. Every closing that you get from, different lead sources becomes a past client. And then if you turn them into raving fans, like you did with that first pilot, right? That first pilot then goes and markets for you and says your name to all of their friends, family, coworkers, and so forth. And that's the whole idea with internet leads is sweet. I can get a past client now, and that past client may have two or three, four people for me over the course of a lifetime or whatever, or they may be doing two, three, four deals, through me if I do my job the right way. So for sure.